Welcome to your sleep story. I'm so glad you're here tonight. Whatever this day was, however long it felt, however much it held, it is behind you now, completely behind you. You made it through, and that is everything. So let's begin. Before I take you anywhere tonight, I want to count you down from 10 to 1. And as I count, I want you to allow yourself to sink just a little deeper into wherever you are right now. Feel the weight of your body. Feel what is beneath you, holding you. And with each number, just let go a little more. 10. Allow your eyes to close. Gently, completely. There is nothing you need to see right now. 9. Feel your shoulders and let them drop as far as they want to go. 8. A slow breath in through the nose. 7. And all the way out. 6. Your hands. Feel them opening. Whatever you've been holding today, you can put it down now. 5. Your jaw is soft. Your face is soft. 4. Your legs are heavy, warm. 3. You're drifting, not asleep yet, but moving that way. 2. The day is behind you, completely and entirely behind you. 1. And now, tonight's sleep story, the relaxation. Before we go anywhere, I want to stay here with you for a moment. Just here, just now, because this moment, this exact moment right now, where you are lying in the quiet, deserves a little attention, a little kindness. Take a breath in for me, from the very bottom of the belly. Good, and let it go. And as you breathe out, I want you to imagine that everything you were carrying today, every worry, every unfinished thought, every heavy thing is just leaving with that breath, just drifting away. You don't have to solve anything tonight. You don't have to figure anything out. You don't have to be anything other than exactly what you are right now. A person who deserves rest. A person who deserves sleep. Because you do. You really do. Whatever happened today, whatever was hard, whatever felt heavy, you made it through. You are here. And that is enough. That is more than enough. You are safe. And you are here. Bring your awareness gently to your feet now. Just notice them and allow them to soften. The toes uncurling, the arches releasing. All the small held tension of the day simply letting go. Let that softness travel upward, through the calves, through the knees, the thighs. All of it warm, all of it heavy, all of it resting now. Your lower back, your hips. Allow yourself to feel the surface beneath you taking your weight completely, fully. You don't have to hold yourself up anymore. The mountains have you. The sea has you. The belly soft. The chest soft. The heart beating steadily as it always has, as it always will. Your shoulders dropping, your arms heavy and warm, your hands open and still, the neck long and loose, and your face, let the jaw go. Let the forehead smooth. Let the eyes be completely still behind their lids. There you are, from the top of your head to the tips of your toes, completely soft, completely warm, completely at rest. You've done beautifully. Now, let me take you somewhere the salmon run is over, and the boats are in, and the cannery is quiet, and the mountains come straight down to the water, and the village is the most remote human place you have ever been. Come with me. Alaska, the largest state, by far. Alaska, twice the size of Texas, 1/5 the size of the lower 48. Combined, a place of scale that the mind cannot quite hold. The coastline, longer than the coastline of all the other states. Combined, the mountains, the glaciers, the rivers, the salmon, the bears, the eagles, the scale of everything in Alaska is different from everywhere else. The mountains are higher, the rivers are wilder, the winters are darker, the summers are brighter, everything more extreme, more itself. The state that has been inhabited for 10,000 years by the peoples who came across the land bridge from Asia, who found this place and stayed. The peoples who understood the salmon before anyone else, who built their world around the salmon as the Egyptian world was built around the Nile. The village, no road connects this village to the rest of Alaska, to the rest of the world. The only way in, the float plane or the boat, the float plane that comes twice a week, in summer, once a week, in winter, when the weather allows. Sometimes the weather does not allow. For days, the village cut off, as it has always been cut off in certain weather, in certain seasons. The isolation that the village has always known, that the people who chose to stay have always known. They chose this isolation, or they were born into it and stayed. Both a choice of a kind. The village on the inlet, the fjord-like inlet of the southeast Alaskan coast. The mountains on 3 sides, the water on the 4th, the mountains coming straight down to the water's edge, almost leaving just enough flat ground for the village, the cannery, the dock, the church, the school, the few houses painted against the gray, the smell, the village in September after the salmon run, the smell, the sea, always the sea, but not the Mediterranean Sea, the Gulf Sea, not the soft, warm seas of the South, the North Pacific, the Gulf of Alaska, the cold, the very cold, salt sea, the cold that you smell as well as feel, the cold that is a smell as well as a temperature, and the fish, the salmon, even after the run, even after the cannery has processed the last fish, the smell of the salmon is in the village, in the dock boards, in the cannery walls, in the nets, hanging to dry, the smell of the salmon that has been in this village since the village was here, and the spruce, the Sitka spruce, the forest that covers every slope, not occupied by the mountain or the sea, the Sitka spruce, its smell, the resinous, cold forest smell of the coastal Alaskan forest, the smell that is also the rain, the southeast Alaskan rain that comes often. That is the reason the Sitka spruce grows so large, so close to the sea. Ruth, not the Ruth of the orchard, a different Ruth. This Ruth is 64. She was born in this village, left at 18, for Juneau, for Anchorage, for what seemed like the world, came back at 40, the way people come back to the places that made them. She runs the cannery. Now, the old cannery that has been at this dock for 90 years, the cannery that processes the salmon that the boats bring in from the run, the sockeye, the king, the coho, the pink, the chum, the 5 species of Pacific salmon that run through these waters in their seasons. Ruth, who knows the salmon the way all the people of this village have always known the salmon as the center of everything, the salmon that made this village possible, the salmon that the Tlingit people have relied on for 10,000 years, the salmon that swims up the rivers from the sea, the salmon that was born in the freshwater of the river gravel that went to the sea for 3, 4, 5 years, that grew in the North Pacific, that found its way back to the exact river, the exact tributary, the exact stretch of gravel where it hatched. How? No one fully understands. The magnetic field, the smell of the home river, the salmon returning without fail every year to the same water, the salmon that fed the bears, the eagles, the humans, the salmon that became the soil nutrients of the forest, the salmon in the forest in the salmon, all connected. The boats in the harbor, the fishing boats, the seiners, the gillneters, the trollers, The boats that the fishermen have been taking out of this harbor since the fishermen first came here. The boats that know this inlet, this channel, this passage between the islands that must be navigated in the dark, in the fog, in the storm. The boats that carry the accumulated navigation knowledge of all the fishermen who have captained them. The boats at rest. Now the salmon run over. The boats in the harbor, the nets folded, the hold empty, clean. The boats resting between the season just ended and the season that will begin again next year. The mountains on three sides, the mountains coming down to the water, the Alaskan mountains, the mountains that do not care about the village that were here before, that will be here after, the mountains that the glaciers carved, the fjord-like inlet, the U-shape of the valley, the same U-shape as the Irish Valley, as every glacial valley. The glacier, gone now, retreated up the mountain, visible on the clearest days from the village, the white of the glacier above the tree line, above the spruce, the white of the ancient ice, still there, still doing what glaciers do, still calving, still retreating, still present. What Ruth Knows. She knows the salmon, every species, the sockeye that runs in July, the king that runs in June, the coho that runs August into September, the pink that runs every other year, the chum that runs September into October. She knows the run timing, and she knows when the run is wrong, when it is late, when it is light, when something upstream is not right. She knows the cannery, every machine, every pipe, every seal, the machine that has been here since her father ran the cannery, that she knows as her father knew it. She knows the village, every family, every house who is having a hard year, who is doing well. She knows the weather, the signs of the southeast Alaskan storm, the particular cloud formation. That means the float plane will not come tomorrow. She knows all of this by being here for 64 years, with a break of 22 years. In the middle, the break that made her understand what she had by leaving the evening meal. Fish, of course, in an Alaskan fishing village. In September, after the salmon run, fish, specifically the coho, the silver salmon, the last of the run. Ruth, who kept several fish for the village, who baked them in the community hall for the gathering that happens at the end of every run, the gathering that has happened at the end of every run in this village, since the village has had runs and gatherings. The meal that is also the celebration of survival of another year, of the run that came as it always comes, that fed as it always feeds, the village gathering to eat the fish that the sea gave, the eagle on the dock, the bald eagle, as there is always a bald eagle on the dock in an Alaskan fishing village, the eagle that waits for the scraps that the fishermen leave, that the cannery discards, the eagle that has learned the fishermen as the fishermen have learned the salmon, the eagle not afraid of the people not afraid of the eagle, the long acquaintance between the eagle and the village that has made them used to each other. The eagle on the dock post, its white head against the gray of the September evening sky. The eagle that is also here as the salmon, is here as the village, is here, all of them part of the same system, growing still. Ruth is at the community hall. The coho is on the table. The village is gathering. The boats are in the harbor. The eagle is on the dock. The mountains are on 3 sides. The sea is on the 4th. If thoughts are arriving, and they probably are, because that is what minds do, they are not staying long. Alaska takes them, the scale of it, the mountain coming down, to the water, the salmon traveling thousands of miles to come back to the same gravel. The thoughts come, you notice them, the sea takes them, the Gulf of Alaska, taking everything as large waters always take everything. You don't need to hold any of them, just the village, just the smell of the sea and the spruce and the fish, just the eagle on the dock, just Ruth at the table, the coho, the salmon that came back. Peace lives in this village, in the salmon and the boats, and the cannery, and the eagle and Ruth's 64 years of knowing this place from inside it. Tonight it is yours. Good night. You are doing so beautifully. The day is done. You came to the village tonight. The mountains on 3 sides, the sea on the 4th, the smell of the North Pacific and the Sitka spruce and the salmon. Ruth at the community hall with the coho. The eagle on the dock post against the gray sky. The village received you as remote Alaskan fishing villages receive people who find their way to them, with the fish and the cold sea, and the isolation that is also a kind of freedom, and the particular warmth of people who have chosen to be exactly where they are. Carry it with you on the days when you feel lost, the days when the world is too big and you cannot find your place in it. Remember the salmon. Remember that the salmon traveled thousands of miles of open ocean and found its way back to the exact gravel, to the exact water. You know the way back. You always know the way back. You know the way here now. But tonight, you are already here. The mountains are around you. The sea is close. The salmon came back. Sleep now, deeply, completely. You deserve every sea cold, spruce scented, salmon run, eagle watched, Alaskan still moment of this rest. Every single one. Good night. Sleep well. The village through the night. The harbor at night. The fishing boats. In the harbor. At rest. The nets. Folded. The hold. Empty. The boats. That went out. Every morning. For 3 months. Now still. The boats. That carry. The knowledge. Of this water. Of this passage. Of the shoals. And the channels. And the currents. In their hulls. In the memory. Of everyone. Who has captained them. The harbor. Still. At midnight. The water. Reflecting. The few lights. Of the village. The cold water. Of the inlet. Holding. The amber. Of the dock lights. In its darkness. The forest at night. The Sitka spruce. On every slope. The forest. That surrounds. The village. On 3 sides. The spruce. At night. Their dark shapes. Against the slightly less dark sky. The spruce. That are home. To the Sitka black-tailed deer. To the black bear. To the marten. To the Steller's jay. All of them. In the forest. At night. Going about. Their lives. In the dark. The forest. That feeds them. That houses them. That has always. Fed and housed them. As the sea. Feeds the village. The forest. And the sea. Both feeding. Differently. Both here. The salmon in the river. Some still in the river. The late coho. Still in the river. Above the village. The river. That connects. The mountains. To the sea. The salmon. In the river. Their purpose. Accomplished. Or almost. The salmon. That spawned. Or will spawn. In the gravel. And then. Die. The salmon. That becomes. The river. That becomes. The forest. The nitrogen. From the ocean. That the salmon. Carries. Into the river. Into the forest soil. The salmon. That the bears. Carried. Into the forest. That fertilized. The spruce. The spruce. That is. Made partly. From the salmon. The salmon. in the forest in the salmon, the cycle that the village is part of, that Ruth understands, even if she does not put it in these words. Ruth's return. She came back at 40 after 22 years. In the cities, she has thought about why she came back. She has many answers, none of them complete. The closest she comes is this: the salmon came back. Why wouldn't she? The salmon that traveled thousands of miles, that came back to the exact gravel. She traveled less far. She came back to the same inlet, to the same mountains, to the same people who were still here, the ones who had not left, or the ones who had come back like her. The village that keeps getting left and keeps getting come back to. The village that is still here. The aurora in September. The nights are dark enough for the aurora borealis, the northern lights, the same charged particles as Sigurður's Iceland, as Margaret's Canadian Lake, but different. The Alaskan aurora, above the mountains, above the spruce, above the inlet, the green, and sometimes red, and sometimes purple, the aurora that the Tlingit people have watched from this coast for 10,000 years. The aurora that Ruth watched as a child from the dock, that she watched in Anchorage, where it was dimmed by the city lights, that she watches now from the dock of the village, where there are no city lights, where the aurora is everything it can be without interference. The aurora that the salmon swam under in the open ocean. The aurora that the eagles sleep under in the spruce. The aurora that the village has always been under. What the run means. Not only the fish, the salmon run means more than the fish. The run is the year measured in Alaska. The year is not January to December in the fishing villages of Alaska. The year is run to run from the end of one salmon run to the beginning of the next. The year organized around the salmon, as the Muslim year is organized around Ramadan, as the Christian year is organized around Christmas. The salmon, the calendar of the village, the year that ended tonight at the gathering, at the coho, on the table, in the community hall. The year that will begin again in June, when the king's salmon runs. The year of the salmon that Ruth has been living for 64 years. The harbor is still. The boats are at rest. The nets are folded. The eagle is on the dock post, asleep, its white head tucked. The mountains are above. The spruce, the glacier, just visible on the clearest days. Ruth is asleep in the house where she was born. The coho eaten, the gathering done. Another year marked. The aurora, perhaps beginning in the northern sky, above the mountains, above the inlet, above the salmon, still in the river, doing what they came to do. And you are sleeping deeply, completely, peacefully in the village, in Alaska, the mountains around you, the sea close, the spruce on every slope, the salmon in the river, still, the cycle continuing as it always continues. This is exactly where you should be. This is exactly what you deserve. Every sea cold, spruce scented, salmon run, eagle watched, Alaskan still moment. Every single one. You are safe. You are held. You are at peace. Good night, dear friend. Sleep well. Sleep deeply. Good night.